Welcome back. We're still in the middle of this 9,000 word backstory. Even though I don't know why, we kind of can piece together everything here. But no, we gotta keep going. On the road to the nearest town, Trixie had the fortune of meeting a zebra selling her wagon. Trixie kept some bits in her hat for such emergencies. On the downside, she had to pull the wagon herself. She reached Tuffington where she put on her first sew. Using the tricks she had been developing over the years, she has success and earned plenty of bits. The first thing she bought was a purple cape. She used her magic to make the pattern match her hat. Okay. You know what this scene is like? Have you ever seen Pitch Meeting? This is what's going through my head. Oh, and then, after that, we're going to see the origin of the magic cape. Oh, really? We're finally going to delve into that story? Yes, sir, indeed. We're finally going to tell everybody what everybody's been wanting to know. How did Trixie get that cape? Wow. I assumed she just bought it, but now I know more. Yes. As time went on, Trixie traveled from town to town, showing off her magic. Sometimes she had to make up stories of her accomplishments to grab Pony's attention. When there wasn't much of an audience, Trixie would hang out with a few groupies, and duration was like chili peppers. If she had kept it up, she would have gained enough power to impress her mother, had it not been for her run-in with Twilight Sparkle. As if humiliating her wasn't enough, Trixie found more reasons to get her revenge on Celestia's prized pupil. Months later, she heard there was a Changeling attack on Carolot, which erased her. Her mother already started her takeover plans without her. True, she failed, but the idea was still insulting. The straw that broke the camel's back was a news story on Twilight Sparkle's latest victory over Queen Chrysalis. According to the article, Chrysalis had attempted to turn Twilight as dark as her in order to make the unicorn her pupil. Trixie had not only crushed the paper, but turned it into a crisp. Wait a minute. According to this article, there was no one there. How did they know? Did Twilight just go by and say, "Oh, every pony, by the way, we went off on an adventure. Who wants an interview?" Did a random press reporter just saw Twilight and the others come back and go, "Hey, Twilight, what's going on? Care to tell us?" No one was there. There was no big event. Why? You would think that Celestia's adventure with Spike later on and the whole pig thing was the more important news article of the day. Even my own mother thinks Twilight is better than me. No. Did Twilight tell... No, I can't finish this line here. Did Twilight just tell the guys what was going on? Does he sit down and proceed to read about it like a freaking comic? This makes no sense! Does Twilight do this with every single adventure? Does she just go, "Hey, news people, Twilight would like to have a word with you"? Oh, okay, what's going on? Well, Twilight here has this great story to tell, and then goes through an entire adventure? This was the reason Bellatrix never took a new form to start over. Next time she met Twilight Sparkle, she wanted her to be aware of who she was dealing with. Of course, she couldn't improve her magic overnight. She heard rumors of a powerful necklace called the Alicorn Amulet, and spent months searching for it. Until she found it in an old antique shop. Wait. Trixie hates to pause this again, but we see that Trixie spent a lot of her time working and getting money. Why not just temporarily change form, get the money, then come back later as Trixie? She could wait. As a matter of fact, why wasn't Trixie busy watching over Twilight? Wouldn't it be more cunning to pretend to be a little fool or filly so that way Trixie could outsmart her and learn her ways? Vic In order to fill in these plot holes for Taroxy being the princess, you're making a bigger one! Unfortunately, that plan didn't work. Yet again, Twilight had outsmarted her. Not long after her defeat, Trixie took time to reflect on her actions. The amulet made her do things she had never dreamed of doing. She spent years draining others of their love, but never really hurt anybody. She hadn't liked it. Hadn't liked it one bit. She was a performer, not a dictator. She wasn't, ellipses, her mother. That was why she felt compelled to apologize to Twilight Sparkle. Bellatrix hadn't quite forgiven her yet, which was why she did it as Trixie. She set out on something new to figure things out. That's when she stumbled into Daimonia, where the Diamond Dogs, thinking she had the power to summon gems, made her queen. It was glorious at first and couldn't wait to inform her mother about her son's rise to power, until Trixie realized how difficult it was being queen. The Diamond Dogs wouldn't let her leave. She kept expecting her to produce more gems, which she could not do. She was lucky that Rainbow Dash had agreed to get her out of that jam. Something about having some pony at her side made Trixie feel wonderful. I started pondering on that friendship thing. That's what I was always talking about. So once she was free from the diamonds, Trixie decided to focus on her magic and helping others, hoping to find a path more rewarding. Trixie's positive she had a cameo in one of the stories beforehand. 5 years went by quicker than Trixie had intended. She crossed out the big red circle on her calendar. She felt disappointed. 5 years ago, she would have felt thrilled that her exile was finally over, but now her heart wasn't in it. In her exile, she had become a huge success as a musician, and now was a household name. She had been helping with the police, the homeless, and the orphans. Some of those deeds would have been for publicity, but later found the activities rather enjoyable. There was something fulfilling about bringing joy into ponies' lives. The idea of sucking them all dry made her feel sick. And that's what her mother wanted her to do. Once she was queen, Bellatrix had expected to take over Equestria. If her mother never succeeded doing it herself, Bellatrix didn't want to do that. Sure, ponies were her main source of food, but she never took more love than needed. Besides, after the incident in Daimonia, Bellatrix wasn't cut out to be a ruler. She knew what she needed to do. Chrysalis smiled when she saw her daughter buzz into the hive. "Ah, my sweet Bellatrix," she exclaimed, putting her hoof around her. "You've returned at last. Why, how you grows." Bellatrix frowned as she wiggled out the king's grass. "Mother, we need to talk." "Of course, my dear. Now you're back. It's time we take to your training to the next..." "There's no more need for training, Mother." Chrysalis blinked and smirked. "I see. You think you're fully prepared for the throes. Well, my dears, we still need to test..." "What Bellatrix means, Mother, is that Bellatrix will not be training here anymore." The queen raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" The princess placed her hooves firmly on the floor and stood up straight. "Bellatrix wishes to abdicate her position as princess of the Changelings." Chrysalis jumped back. "You're not serious, are you?" "No, Mother, Bellatrix is quite serious." "Why are you referring to yourself in the third person? What has the outside world done to you?" "Help Bellatrix see clearly, Mother. Before, Bellatrix thought all that mattered in this world was power. But now she sees there are more important things, like friendship, love, to give others rather than yourself." "Who taught you such vulgar language? What happened to my daughter, the changeling who would have done anything to get what she wanted?" "Well, you see, that is your problem right there. If you had been nicer to Trixie and maybe just thought for a few seconds to show her love or support or compassion or any of those things that you do the atypical, "I am villain, hear me roar, I hate good things, grrr," that maybe, just maybe, Bellatrix would be on the side of, maybe friendship is good. So yes, of course Trixie isn't gonna want this. Why would she want to be here with a bunch of loveless drones who always show her affection because she orders them to? Why should she take over the throne from one of the worst mothers in all of fiction! So, see ya! Bye-bye, Trixie out! Deuces. Very well, my dear. Do what you like. Doesn't matter to me. In fact, I already have a replacement for you. I just given birth to a prince. Deuces! Hello? Come back. Don't you have something you need to say to me? No, you don't understand this. Trixie, out! Trixie does not care about the rest of the line. She be outsy. Toodles! Hope you enjoy dying. Out! Many years passed, and Trixie found the size of her audience was declining. She knew this happened to all performers eventually, but she didn't know what she'd do if she couldn't perform. I don't know. Penn and Teller have been doing this for 20 or something years, and, well, they're still popular enough to have a really cool TV show. And there's also Weird Al, who still makes buck on his review, on his, shows. And then there's, David Copperfield, who still puts on shows to this day and has plans to make the moon disappear. And Harry Houdini died while still being popular and still being an entertaining performer. So, yeah. I hate to tell you this, Vic, but, that explanation only works on those of us who know their magician history more. She couldn't go back to the Hive. That life wasn't for her, and she wasn't wanted anyway. Why would you? Forget not wanting for you being wanted. I wouldn't want that life for you. What she needed was new material, or at least shake things up a bit. While she was walking through Tottenham, pondering on this, she passed by a theater with a large crowd in front. She caught sight of a poster with a blue minotaur on it that read, "The Incredible Iron Will." She had heard of this minotaur and had been giving motivational speeches for a decade. His popularity had yet to fall. Trixie figured it wouldn't hurt asking him for a few pointers and followed the crowd in. We could have Trixie create a show called Trixie Fool Us. She pushed for the front row, glaring at a horn at any point who tried to push her back. When the lights dimmed and the music sounded throughout the auditorium, the adrenaline inside her started pumping. She had forgotten the excitement sitting in the audience. Fog covered the stage and the spotlight came up. As she saw the brawny figure rise through the smoke, her eyes widened when the lights came up and laser beams highlighted the Minotaur's ripped body. Trixie's heart pounded wildly against her chest.
"Greetings, friends!" he announced. "My name is Iron Will, and today is the first day of your new life. I want you to stop if..."
Trixie never stopped hard before he could finish his sentence. The Minotaur glanced down at her briefly, then continued. She didn't even process half of what he was saying. She was too engrossed in the stage presence. His massive lungs took a... His deep voice, his flare muscles, the way he spoke in the third person like he always did. She was hooked with no chance of ever getting back to the ocean. After the show, she just had to go meet him backstage. However, she was stopped by two security guards before she could knock on his dressing room door. Excuse me, she said. Trixie doesn't have an appointment. She just needs to speak with Mr. Will. She tried to step around him, but he plucked her path again and brayed. Oh, Trixie's not thinking of anything naughty, she insisted, though this was slightly less true. She just wants to speak with him. Show pony to, show Minotaur. The girls brayed again and shook their heads. Trixie scowled and started up her horn. Get out of the way, now! A small dark cloud grew above them and zapped them both with lightning. They shrieked and scattered. Thank you, Trixie said, smiling in satisfaction. She raised her hoof to knock, but the door opened for her. She looked at the Minotaur, who was nodding at her in approval.
Iron Will saw the whole thing through the keyhole. It was all part of the test. Nobody gets to see Iron Will without proving themselves. Come on in, miss.
Trixie, she says he stepped in. The great and powerful Trixie, to be exact.
Oh, he said nosily. Magician.
Cute and smart, she giggled. Trixie must say, Mr. Will, that was quite a performance.
He raised an eyebrow. Why are you referring to yourself in the third person? She snorted.
You're one to talk. I got a chuckle out of him.
So what brings you to Iron Will's Asura's training seminar? Were you 100% satisfied?
Trixie's her eyes wired to his broad chest. Oh, Trixie's satisfied, all right. Though she didn't come here for any Asura's training. She's quite capable of speaking for herself.
Clearly,
Iron Will said, locking the coat simmering by the door. Trixie actually came to get a few pointers from a fellow performer. See, her audience has been lacking lately. Well, maybe you might be able to improve yourself a little, Trixie, if I wrote you some of your magician acts. Seeing as how I probably watched more episodes of Penn and Teller Fool Us. One of my favorite Nolan films is The Prestige. I love Now You See Me to death.
Really?
He said, rubbing his chin in interest.
Well, perhaps the great and powerful Trixie and the incredible Iron Will could discuss this over once.
Alright, Swass. Really? I mean, you're sure you're... She paused to quickly check for his loved ones and frowned when she saw a female Minotaur. Girlfriend or wife wouldn't mind.
The Minotaur's face fell. Iron Will has been single since the missus passed on.
Trixie's heart sank. Oh, I'm sorry,
He held his hand. It's okay. Iron Will's had time to get used to it. He smiled slightly. You're still off for lunch.
Trixie nodded ecstatically. Lunch was only the beginning. It was followed by 4 weeks of ecstasy. After they both done their shows for the day, they would meet for dinner. They exchanged performing techniques, shared their likes and dislikes, and talked about their feelings. Something Trixie had never been able to do with anyone. One day, he took her to a carnival where he won her a stuffed pig at a test your strength game. So he returned the favor by winning him a gorilla at a dart booth. Before they got out the Ferris wheel, he whispered in her ear, asking that they head back to his place. When she awoke into bed the next morning, Trixie never felt so wonderful. Or Trixie's legs would have felt so exhausted. She was alone, as he had kind enough to make them breakfast, which gave her time to ponder over last night's events. All these years since she left the hive, she has been searching for something to fill the emptiness in her heart. She'd done more than giving herself to someone she'd grown to care about. She found closure with someone. True, he wasn't exactly what she expected from a significant other. To me, this is probably the most honest pairing I've ever seen on this show. And I've made one with vanilla. But changelings were never really picky about species. However, something unpleasant was nagging at her brain. Iron Will had said last night he was falling in love with her. But he wasn't in love with Bellatrix. He was in love with Trixie. Yes, he was as much as Trixie as Bellatrix. But there was a whole side of her he didn't know. She felt guilty hiding a big part of her life from him, especially all that he shared from her. She cautiously opened the kitchen door and found him whistling joyfully as he flipped pancakes off. She couldn't help but smile and imagine what it would be like to wake up every morning to this display. He turned his head and grinned at her.
Boring,
he said. Morning, Trixie replied, taking a seat at the table.
Sleep well.
Yes, with a wink. She nodded and said in a salty voice, Oh yes, 100% satisfaction guarantee. He took a as he set a plate of pancakes in front of her.
Iron Will has also made some hay smoothies,
he says. He poured her a glass from the blender.
He remembers how much you liked them.
They taste like love, she whispered. Oh, nothing. She levitated the glass to her lips, then paused and set it back down.
What's the matter?
Iron Will asked.
Too sweet?
Lily. Was this the nickname he gave his... Don't finish that sentence! Looking at him before he dies. Last night's not on DVD. Only time, is it? You know, now that I think about it, but how does that even work? I mean, Trixie would be on 4 legs, and Iron Will would be... I mean, I guess Trixie could. I mean, there are different ways to... Stop thinking about it unless you want to get tasered in the balls! Okay, I promise. He sat grin as he propped his elbows on the table.
Not if you want it to be.
I mean, do you think you and I that we...
His eyes still look over hope. Do you want to?
Oh, I do. It's just... She bit her lip. Well, last night was new to me. A smile disappeared and his face echoed with concern.
Was it your first time, was it?
No, it wasn't my first, but it was different. I feel close to you, like I could tell you anyway. Iron Will grinned as he took her hoof.
Iron, I feel the same way.
I know. She said under your breath. She knew all too well. She could feel the love radiating from him, and the beating of her heart reciprocated it. Still, she wanted to hear it from his mouth. Do you love me, Willie? Once again, it's the nickname of his... Yahoo! He took a moment to ponder and then nodded.
Yes, we may have known each other for a short time, but I believe you do.
You know, we're not exactly the same.
Come on. We're very much the same. We're both show creatures. We live to impress others, and we have that strange compulsion to speak in the third person.
He nodded toward the bedroom.
I think we've already proven that our differences won't get in the way of anything, if you know what I mean.
Trixie smiled slightly at the sentiment, but frowned again. What if I didn't look like this?
He blinked. You mean once you get older?
No, I mean, she sighed. If I wasn't beautiful, would you still love me? Would you still need me when I'm 64?
Trix, I like you for you, not how you look.
Then promise me you won't forget. He raises an eyebrow.
Freak out about what?
She sighed again as he let go of his hose. I haven't been entirely honest with you. Not because I don't trust you, but I was scared of how you react. He tilts his head confused.
Trixie, what are you?
First of all, my name's not Trixie. It's Bellatrix. And this, she gestured towards her body, it's me. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Please don't freak out. She immediately regretted the moment she abandoned her disguise. For as soon as she did, Iron Will shrieked and fell off his chair. Bellatrix opened her eyes in terror and saw him on the floor, giving her an equally frightened gaze.
You're a...
I know this looks bad, but if you let me explain...
Changeling!
He started crawling back. Yes, I'm a changeling, she said gently. She held her to floor and hoped out to him. That doesn't mean I don't...
Get away from me!
Lily, once again, is the nickname of his... Will you cut that out? She insisted, changing back to Trixie. See?
You're Trixie! You've been feeding on me this whole time!
Willie, no, I would never... He grabbed his chair and held it in front of him.
Back off!
Tears filled her eyes. Willie, please.
Don't come any closer. You're not getting a piece of Iron Will.
Wait a minute. Are you saying I'm dumb enough not to realize the problem with showing out that I'm the vampire here without making sure his feelings towards changelings and what they do? Trixie's feeling a little insulted. Lily, he just listens to me.
Get out!
Lily, I love you.
Get out!
Jessie rushed to the door and picked up her cape and hat. She went as she ran through the streets. The pain in her heart was too much to bear. She had really given herself to him, shown him her full trust, and she had scared him away. Her first instinct was to take her wagon and leave town. She wanted to get as far away from him as possible. Yet as the weeks went by, she found she couldn't get over it. It became harder for her to perform, for the thought of Iron Will standing in the audience would always come. She didn't even drink any hay smoothies or eat pancakes anymore, as he reminded her of that awful day. Her month had passed, her heart still hadn't healed, and the thought of the creature had broken it made her queasy. She didn't think time was going to heal this wound. Dizzy remembered something her mother told her. Oh, don't you dare! When the queen's heart was broken by the creature she adored, she found a remedy. Oh, God. Jessie shivered at the thought. She didn't want to ask her mother for help. The idea sounded painful. But it couldn't be any more painful than what she was going through right now.
Don't do this to me, Vic!
So she returned to the hive for the first time in over a decade. Chrysalis was surprised to see her, but greeted her warmly. Go on, Vic. Continue with this plot point. See if I'm not a little bit miffed. Well. My dear Bellatrix. So good to see you again, my dear. Let's cut to the chase, Mother, the former princess said bluntly. You told me numerous times what you did to mend your broken heart. Well, I want you to do the same to me. Wait. Is this really the first time Trixie's ever met somebody? You're telling Trixie in the entire decade she's been doing this? This is really the first time? And that this one body and all the... Really? Chrysalis is pushing it. but you're definitely going to be hard with Trixie. Crystal's eyebrows shot up. She not expected this, but the thought made her grin mischievously. Let me guess. Some male has broken your heart, hasn't he? No, it was a female. What? Well, hey, I mean, one of these days, one of these broken your heart stories that God forced you to remove your heart's gotta involve a woman once in a while, right? So originality would be nice. Or perchance a female. See? Thank you. Thank you for being generous. Bellatrix narrowed her eyes. Just do it. The queen shrugged. All right, keep your secrets. Well, my sweet daughter, I'll comply with your request. However, I must warn you of the possible side effects. You see, this will devoid you of most of your emotions. It will not take all of them. Emotions come from other areas of your body, like the brain. Yes, whatever, let's just do this! This whole plot point's annoying anyway. Alright, but there's one thing you must remember. Crystal looked seriously, almost emphatically at her daughter. You feel liberated at first, but soon you'll find yourself with an emptiness that can never be filled. She said in a low voice, and once you had a taste of this emptiness, you can never go back. Let's just get through this already! Trixie's already feeling more undignified than popping up in a mic fit right now! That's exactly what I said. She raised her hoof to do the deed. Bellatrix closed her eyes to brace herself. She cried down as she felt her mother's hoof plunge into her chest and squeezed around her insides. No, that's the liver. No, intestines. No, aortic valve. Oh, wait, the aortic valve. I think I might. No, missed it again. Let's see. No, pharynx. No. Ovaries. No. Kidneys. No. Pop! Trixie, I know this is gonna sound bad, but trust me, you can survive with one kidney. Put it back! Fine. Let's see. Gallbladder. No. Appendix. Well, we are ponies, so maybe we do have an appendix. You're gonna need to remove that, by the way. She opened her eyes to see a glowing green heart pounding in the queen's hoof. How do you feel? I feel like, why can't I feel like anything? Pop! Oops. Are we going literal? Oh god, I took out your actual hearts by mistake. Oh shoot. I meant to take away your metaphorical hearts. I'll be right back. Click! Give Trixie an artificial heart! Help me! Free. I'm not hurting anymore, but I'm a bit strange. I mean, Trixie's still mad about the preceding reasons, but we all are, Trixie, we all are. You're used to it, my dear. You see how much easier it is to live without emotions getting in the way of things. Perhaps now you're more like the rest of us to consider rejoining us. Are you still a bitch? I'm still a bitch. Then no. Nobody in their right minds would. Actually, by removing Trixie's heart, you make her think only logical. Logically, this is entirely stupid. Bye. I'm asking once again, deuces. You get back here. Deuces. Bye. Trixie was more dedicated to her career more than ever. Now her destiny was clear. She had nothing else to live for. However, it didn't take her long to realize the side effects her mother had been talking about. Without her heart, she didn't feel as passionate as she used to about performing. Her head told her it was all she had in life, but her heart was literally not in it. Because of this, the emptiness her mother warned her of slowly grew inside her. After a month of heartlessness, Trixie was beginning to think there was no point in living anymore. Then she felt it, the squirming inside of her, like there was a worm trying to wriggle out of her belly. Mother explained these symptoms, and that after feeling it multiple times, she wants to get used to it. But Trixie didn't think it would happen without the royal blessing. Part of that spell meant to kickstart royal changeling's reproductive organs, so she could have multiple births each month. Mother also said one would feel queasy during the first few pregnancies, but those would eventually go away. How could she? But without the royal blessing, there's only one way to be sure. Trixie looked in the mirror and tried the love-seeing spell on herself. Nothing showed up to her, but a picture of herself appeared on her stomach. That's how she knew. She had a new life growing inside of her. She couldn't reproduce asexually yet, which meant she was carrying the child of the Minotaur who had broken her heart. When the baby arrived, Trixie made sure she was in complete solitude in her wagon. She didn't know how the baby was going to turn out, or couldn't risk staring at a doctor. It was a pain going into labor alone. But luckily, the little black larva seemed to slip right out. Pop! As Trixie held to the larva, she frowned. She felt no joy at seeing her daughter. Even the little thing opened its slit yellow eyes, she felt nothing. She didn't even cry. It was disappointing. And since Trixie didn't have a heart, she just gave it up immediately for adoption. What? That made sense. There was something odd about the larva. It had a small gray horn growing out of his forehead. Yellow eyes also reminded her greatly of the father. Anger welled up inside of her, one of the few emotions that seemed to stay. Her heart was gone, yet this child was here to take its place as a reminder of her heartbreak. For a moment she considered getting rid of it. Then the larva sneezed in a case of green flames. Trixie yelled as she was now holding a blue unicorn foal with black cloven hooves, a cat-like tail, and a curl of highlighted blue hair. Aww. The child sneezed again, turned back to the larva. Goodness, you're certainly going to have a hard time with the world. Wait. Why didn't Trixie figure that whole entire thing out about her heart not being in her stage beforehand? The baby responded by sneezing back in the foal. Dizzy started crying. Trixie tried to shush her as she cradled her. It took a few minutes for the filly to fall asleep, a small smile on her face. Trixie couldn't help but smile a bit too. You're a strange one. You're going to need someone to help you with the hidey-zaddies. You won't be so ostracized like your mother was. Trixie still felt no pleasure in holding her newborn, but she did feel a sense of responsibility. She was all this unusual child had, and no one was going to protect her from her mother. As the moonbeam shone on the child's peaceful face, Trixie realized her life wasn't so empty anymore. She had a new purpose. She found that no matter what, she was going to bring happiness to this little filly. Even that happiness could never be reciprocated. She found her listening every day for the next 9 years, that just for a moment, she could feel love for her daughter. So, no idea of why you're not going back? No idea why you're not reneging on the deal? Just gonna leave this reviewer hanging, are we? Fine. You do what you do, Vic. I'm just gonna move on to the next chapter.